My name is Leo. This is my third ayahuasca retreat. I've been to other retreats in Costa Rica and in the Sacred Valley. I have to say that Arkana, the Amazon jungle location, was nothing short of magical. The level of care and the attention of detail that is planned into every aspect of this experience added a new level of profoundness to everything, from the friendly staff to the welcome, to the nutritious food, to even having a live shaman there. That made all the difference in the world. I've been to other resorts where they just throw on a Spotify playlist, but to have real human beings singing from their heart, using their voices, took the experience to a whole another level. Even though this is my third ayahuasca retreat, I actually feel like it's my first ayahuasca retreat. I'd like to share something that I wrote to share in the last group share after our fourth ceremony. They say that ayahuasca contains a wise and loving spirit. This is 100% true, and we all experienced her love and wisdom this week. If I could summarize my stay here at Arkana, it would be a journey of finding that inner strength to face the unknown, whether it be doing the medicine, the bufo, the rapé, or the crazy eye drops. But most importantly, it is a journey of facing the unknown parts of ourselves. As a former Marine, I can say that I've had my fair share of facing obstacles and challenges. But that's easy when you have someone screaming in your ear, pushing you through it. It takes a lot more strength and courage to navigate obstacles alone, in the dark, and in the deepest recesses of our minds and soul, like we all done this week. Obstacles that you cannot touch. Everyone here should be extremely proud and infinitely grateful to themselves for showing up to do this work. Far away from home, and more than likely alone. When a seed is planted into the earth, it remains there, in the dark, alone. Through being watered, the outside shell starts to rot. And when the conditions are right, the seed bursts, and a new life springs forth, reaching towards the light. This same drive towards infinite potential is what brought you here, when the conditions were right. We forgot our traditions, and all the bad habits we have are due to the lack of and search for love, whether it be meaningless sex or using substances to make us feel good. They are all pathetic substitutes for love. We have been so caught up in the rat race and the day-to-day that we forgot that we're supposed to love each other. When people ask, why are we here? What's the point of our existence? It's simple. It is to love. That's the purpose of life. That's it. If your grandma were to give you her recipe for her cookies and you followed the instructions to a T, it still wouldn't taste the same. Why? Because it's missing that love. I've always had a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for the rishis of ancient India. In a search for the true meaning of this human existence, these brave and noble souls took to a life of solitude deep in the jungles and in the caves of the Himalayas. Instead of seeking answers in the outside transitory world, they took to an inward journey, looking deep into their souls. Close your eyes and see. Surprisingly, their findings were not much different than what you all experienced this week. That we are already full, complete, perfect. That we are pure love. That we are that person that we've been looking for. Close your eyes and see. Stop looking on the outside for what you already have on the inside. Love. Love is the answer to everything. Love is all there is. Love is infinite. There is no way you can be anything else, no matter how hard you try. Life and love are the same thing. You cannot talk about life without talking about love. You don't need a reason to be who you are. You are an expression of love. Life is an expression of love from the cosmos, nature, universe, God, etc. Life is a learning vacation, and if a vacation lasted forever, it wouldn't be a vacation. We are eternal souls strapped to a dying animal, and one day we will have to give our bodies back to the earth. That's where they come from. But in essence, we are love. Our souls are love. Never-ending, boundless, infinite love. Other gems that the rishis discovered are non-harm towards any being, in thought, word, or deed. Hurting other beings is hurting yourself. Serving other beings is serving yourself. Loving other beings is loving yourself. Non-attachment. Stop grasping and clinging to objects, people, and experiences. These do not belong to you. They are only here for you to enjoy. If you think about it, you never truly own anything. You merely have temporary possession of these things. Eventually, all these possessions get passed on to someone else. Dispassion. Do not be enamored by the pleasurable experiences and adverse to unpleasant experiences. Be equally grateful for the bitter and the sweet. These lessons can be applied in life by living lovingly in the present moment, by letting things be as they are. Remember that we are human beings, not human doings or human thinkings. Just be. The universe came from nothing, and the universe will return to nothing. The only thing that exists between that is the present moment. Just like the jewel that I saw in my vision. Move through life lovingly, without attachment and with no preference towards the direction that life takes you. I only spoke to a few people while here at this retreat. If I did not get a chance to speak to you, please do not take offense. I know that I may come off as cold and distant to some, but I assure you that is not the case. I enjoy silence and find great meaning and wisdom in it. I try to live in my life in such a way that I break the silence only if what I have to say is more meaningful than the golden silence that is present. Silence is golden. Lastly, I would like to thank Jose for providing us the space and opportunity for us to discover ourselves, for us to heal ourselves, for us to be born again. Part businessman, part scientist, part shaman. What a combination. You poured your heart and soul into this center and this experience, and you were with us every single step of the way. This will easily be one of the most profound and magical experiences of my existence. Thank you. I would like to thank the shamans for sharing their beautiful medicine with us, for singing from their souls to heal and protect us, for breathing new life into us. I'd also like to thank all the facilitators for all of their selfless work. Serving in your capacities as extensions of Jose, you made possible this remarkable journey of healing through your thoughtful actions, willingness to serve, and by holding a space where we felt safe and loved no matter what. I'd also like to thank the staff here, those who cooked our food, cleaned our bathrooms, made our beds, and set the spaces for us to use, all done with love. And to you all for being here and playing a part in my story. I have come to see each of you as uniquely colorful beings, worthy of celebration. And lastly, to all the brave souls that came before us on this journey, not just here at Arkana, but in the totality of existence. I salute you all and bow deeply to you. Please join me in a round of applause to conclude our chapter here at Arkana and to welcome and celebrate the beginning of a new life. Waking up isn't the end, it's the beginning. No matter where you are in life, always remember that you are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. Thank you.